In my family, there were rules about the house. They weren't written down, they weren't explained in detail. You learn them the way you learn where not to step in the dark, by being corrected once and never forgetting it. One of those rules was simple: you never answered a voice that called your name from another room unless you could see who was speaking. If someone called you, you went to them. You didn't answer back. I didn't know why. No one ever told me it was about Jinn. They didn't use that word around children. They just said there were things that listened, and that answering was a way of letting them know you were paying attention. The house was old, but not unusual. 2 floors, narrow hallway upstairs, doors that didn't quite close unless you pushed them shut. Sounds carried easily: footsteps, drawers, the quiet movements people make when they think they're alone. That's what made it difficult. Voices traveled clearly. The first time it happened to me, I was 12. I was in my room with the door open, doing homework. Late afternoon, sun still out. The house didn't feel strange. My mother was downstairs. I could hear her moving around the kitchen. Then I heard my name. It came from the hallway. Same tone my mother always used. Same cadence, not urgent, not raised, just normal. I answered without thinking. Yes? There was a pause. Then the voice answered back from the same place, not repeating my name, not saying anything new, just breathing. It wasn't loud, it wasn't labored. It sounded close, like someone standing just outside the door listening. I froze. From downstairs, I heard my mother call my name again, this time clearly from the kitchen. I didn't answer. When she came up a few minutes later, she knew something was wrong before I said anything. She looked past me down the hallway, like she was checking whether something had followed her upstairs. She didn't ask what I heard. She only said, "You answered it, didn't you?" That night, my father walked through the house, burning incense, stopping in every doorway. He didn't rush. He didn't speak. He closed doors carefully, like he was counting. After that, the rules changed. If you heard your name, you went to the person. If you couldn't find them, you didn't mention it. And if a voice ever answered you back, you told an adult immediately. It didn't happen often, but it happened enough. Sometimes the voice sounded like my father, sometimes like my aunt. Once it sounded like me, calling my younger cousin from the other room when I knew I hadn't spoken. The thing about it was this: it never tried to lure anyone outside. It never demanded anything. It never threatened. It only responded, as if it were practicing. When my grandmother died, the house went quiet for a long time. Too quiet. Then one night, months later, my mom heard her name spoken softly from the empty living room. My grandmother's voice, tired, familiar. She didn't answer. She turned off the light and sat in the dark until the sound stopped. We moved out not too long after that. The house still stands. Other families have lived there since. We never warned anyone. There was no language for it that wouldn't sound ridiculous. But I still follow the rule. If someone calls my name from another room, I go to them. And if a voice ever answers back, I don't respond.